We have the call of the Chimera and the first Traptrix list I've seen in like 2 years. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Wow, we actually have, I think, one of the most interesting regional breakdowns that we have seen to date, because the amount of rogue that is present in this top cut is just such an abnormality across the field. I mean, when was the last time you guys saw a Traptrix deck? And I mean, it was Bortle of all people, you know, the expert that, you know, knows exactly what they're doing with this deck, was able to overcome a lot of the meta difficulties here and was able to, you know, take advantage of week one. Now, I mean, you did have meta present. I mean, Draco Tail was sitting right here. You had two of them within your top cut actually overwhelming a lot of the meta, which is kind of interesting. Now, we did have, surprisingly enough, Chimera ended up winning this event. I'm not surprised to see Chimera kind of being the problem deck in the room here, because Chimera is gosh darn really good at just putting up some of the stupidest, craziest boards that I have seen within the meta. And honestly, I'm a little bit not surprised to see that. We also had a Crystron duelist. We don't have the list for that, unfortunately. We did also get the chance to see DDD's Nuts showing up as well. Honestly, that deck is going to be one of those that's just going to kind of continue to kind of take the meta by storm when it does show up. I mean, it's the definition of the rogue contender. If you don't know what you're doing against that deck, or, you know, you just don't have a soft stop to it, like, they're just able to, you know, do full combo. We also had Orcust, which Orcust is a pretty mainstay challenger, but this one was playing as Amina and Mitsurugi. What a pile. We also had Gem Knights, and like I said, we also had Traptrix, which is all very, very exciting. Now, winning our event here was Carson playing Chimera pile. Now, as you can see, you are building in the Heck of Hands package into this deck, and I don't really blame them for wanting to play these cards, because I mean, these cards are great. You know, getting access into the Heck of Hands spell card itself, you are playing one of the negate, as you can see here, while side decking the additional version. So it's one of those things. It's like you have all of these good cards that you can actually access. It's just going to depend on, all right, do I need to call this up in this matchup? You know, is it better? Honestly, it's better to side the additional pieces down here, because you're going to start to run into a lot of consistency problems, and I can back that one up 100%. This deck, you've got a lot of pieces melding together here in order to get those, you know, to get the optimized board. And unfortunately, you know, you are going to have to make some concessions in the deck building process. I mean, considering the fact that you are already, what, at a solid 43 cards, yeah, you can't even really make compensation for that. Also, Dookie and Amizin here doing his job. You're doing the one of the Heck of Hands fusion. But this is a good example of, hey, we can take all of this, we can bring it together, and we can create this massive, crazy hodgepodge pile that is just really going to shake the meta down. So good stuff to this. Next up here, we had Fiendsmith DDD, and this was by Nathaniel. Now, I'm actually a little bit surprised that they managed to get Fiendsmith cards in here, man, because that's not exactly something that has been DDD's motive, you know. It's like when you look at DDD, you're like, oh, hey, you know, my deck wants to be able to smash together this crazy big field and just kind of develop it from there. But, you know, actually the Fiendsmith stuff does give you access to the Wave King Kaiser, which is a classic, exactly as the Fiendsmith does it, right? Its job is to basically pad down your field so that you can do the additional little crazy stuff, which, hey, if there's a payoff to the end of the sugar-coated rainbow where, you know, suddenly this Wave King Kaiser is looking like an end board piece, then you best be exploring that. Now, we're also playing two Evenlies in the main deck. I'm not exactly sure sure how I feel about this. You couldn't find the room to dedicate in the third piece, I guess, because they do have the Fiendsmith Sanct as a one-of in the deck just to be able to kind of go, which I guess I kind of understand, right? You know, you've got all of these extra pieces kind of blending together in the deck. You just need the deck to kind of get down and get as optimized as possible. And I mean, you're already playing the lowest to the version ground that I feel like you can play. Also, side decking the small worlds is kind of hilarious, actually. So this is much different than the Fiendsmith builds of yesteryear that you guys have been used to seeing. I mean, we're no strangers to seeing how this deck combos up, but I think I'm more impressed that, you know, this was able to do well. Also, shout out to Dimension Shifter here, being one of those incredibly stupid cards that you can just side in and go. Obviously, I didn't think a deck like this would want to be able to play that, but, you know, I guess if it paralyzes them more than me, that's the game plan, right? Right. All right, next up is Creighton Prees Azamina Horus Mitsurugi pile. Yeah, this is 60 cards if I've ever actually seen it. So even with the Mitsurugi stuff limited, you know, that's not going to stop players from wanting to innovate here. It shouldn't stop players from wanting to innovate, right? Like, you want to be able to find the next best thing that you can go with. Obviously, doing 60 cards, you know, it's going to be even crazier because just in a couple weeks, you're going to be getting that new little combo piece so that this build can actually make a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon on top of everything. You know, you're kind of culminating the idea here that we can continuously build up to these pretty crazy strong end boards, and your opponent's just going to kind of look at you and go, what in the world am I supposed to do with this? Which we are kind of getting to that stage. Obviously, you know, you're still focusing on the Boral Sword Dragon kind of as that end board piece. I mean, its job is to help you OTK the opponent, and it usually does a pretty good job at that, but I like this. This looks like the standard pile of cards that, you know, you want to be seeing for the OTK pattern. Next up, we have Branded Dracotail, and yes, this list got a little bit exciting. We are playing the Arch Lord of Christia himself. Now, obviously, Arch Lord Christia can be a little bit of a coin flip in, you know, its effectiveness. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh my god, you know, this card is crazy broken, you know. I don't necessarily think that that's the case. I think right now what you're basically doing with this card is you're just deploying it as a soft lock mechanism against the opponent, you know, especially when we're in a meta right now where, you know, me make Albion, me can, you know, control opponent, me feel good about, you know, end board, me go. It's usually not too bad of a decision. Also, doing the 2 Fallen and Virtuous, I think, is pretty fair. Just kind of considering what you got going for you here. But outside of that, I mean, there's nothing else too exciting about this list. Interesting choices for sure. And then we've got Gem Knights by Kyle. All right, so our Gem Knight list here, actually main decking the Hatronade. Oh my god, that puts a smile on my face, man. And like most of these lists, see, we're side decking the Vingolf down here. Usually these lists would be boarding into Archlord Christia to be able to kind of control the opponent. But I guess this duelist just kind of didn't have access to it, or just didn't feel that it was important enough to have. Because I feel like that'd be one of the most important pieces that you would want to be having, but instead they're going with a canine package down here, I guess, to kind of just pad down their field and feel like, you know, they've got the protection that they kind of want to see. Obviously, you know, it works either way. It's just going to depend on the variation of, you know, end board that you're kind of aiming for to work out. So that's kind of interesting. And our last list here was Traptrix by Mr. Kevin Bortle himself. Actually, you do see the triple Fallen and Virtuous in here, getting the job done, right? I mean, this is a pretty normal thing at this stage, right? Like, Fallen and Virtuous just slots into every single deck that you can actually try to get this into, because it's just such a stupid, incredibly powerful card, right? And I feel like that's going to continue to be the case as we continue to monitor this card, because it's just so good. Super Polys to board break, going with the 2 Gravediggers Trap Holes, which is fine. 2 Evenlies. I mean, if you do see it, it helps out. If not, it's not anything that you're going to lose sleep over. Going with a Triple Hull Tia, which is fine. Side decking the additional Ash. Yeah, this is pretty pretty customized to what I would feel like would be Bortles playtest or skills, which is good to say the least. So what do you guys think about this very, very interesting regional breakdown, to say the least? I'm glad to see a lot of differences coming to the meta here, but please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back there in day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.